What's going on YouTube? This is Deke back with some more So Rare content. So today is the first video in my next group of videos, and it's going to be all about the World Cup. So we are a little bit out still. We're kind of seeing how the European season's starting, but I'm going to jump into teams, do a little team predictions for how they'll line up, and I'm just going to kind of go through each one and see how you can put together a So Rare team whenever the window kind of opens up for the World Cup. So first teams first. We're going to start with Group A, and we're going to go with the Dutch and the Netherlands. So let's take a look at the odds of Group A out the gate. So Group A winner, according to bettingodds.com, 64.1% probability that it is the Dutch squad. Next up is Senegal, Ecuador third, and Qatar down at only 5.9%. To qualify, 88.5%, so very high there. Senegal with the second, 50% for Ecuador, and then again Qatar down at the bottom. So this group, in my opinion, and as the odds say, is going to be the Dutch's group, and then it's going to be Senegal and Ecuador battling it out. I really think Senegal will take that 2 spot in the group, but again, Ecuador has very good chance to do some damage here. So whenever we're going through these, obviously you want teams that are going to go deep in the tournament so that you have that utility throughout. So what I'm going to do for each team going through this is provide a kind of what I think the lineup's going to be as of today. So today is August 26th. We have friendlies, we have things still going on that is really going to make it in depth and take a look. So the Netherlands in March, their friendlies / group Nations League matches, they went for a 5-3-2 and a 3-4-1-2 in March. And then in the June window, they did a 3-5-2 and a 3-4-3. So with that in mind, I'm using buildlineup.com to kind of come and try and go too deep at each position. So we're going to go something like this. Comment below if you think it's going to be different. I know I have some Dutch fans out there. Shout out to my Dutch fans that watch my videos and, come with me on this journey. So we go with Mark Flecken between the sticks. I just think he's going to be the number 1 from Freiburg. The back 3 are phenomenal. De Vries, De Ligt, and Van Dijk. Van Dijk does not have a limited card, so if you're kind of looking at the limited. And then I have either Timber or Aki, Martins Indy, and Teze as my 3 subs there. Daily Blind, he has a lot of different positions, but we're going to go with him at like left wing back-ish. They've also kind of played at a left mid kind of area. But I could see him being flipped by Malacia. Man U coming off a huge win against Liverpool. He looks good. So I could see them flipping, but they might go with experience here. On the right side there, Denzel Dumfries. I think he's going to be the starter most likely. At defensive mid, De Jong and Koopmeiners. As far as a cam goes, and also just want to touch on Jorginho. I believe he's broke his tibia, so might be looking at someone else for that backup role. That's a big hit for his campaign to make the squad. Berghuis, then Depay and Bergwijn up top. Bergwijn just got a card, so his price is outrageous right now. So that's kind of how I think they're going to line up at this moment. Will that change? Most likely. But kind of getting out there if you're trying to put together some, feelers and things for the World Cup. Not a bad place to start. So I put them all on a watch list. If you don't have So Rare Data Premium, I don't think you can do watch lists anymore. I'm not exactly sure. But put them all on a watch list so you can see here those 11 starters that I have. I sorted from highest to lowest price. As I just mentioned, his card just came out. I'll go through each player pretty quickly just to kind of see their So Rare Data page and so on. Obviously, Van Dijk, he is going to be very expensive, but, he's a rare only. So let's get through these guys. Start between the sticks for Freiburg. We'll just take a look at quick pricing and recent form, and then give you a team that I would put together at the end. I don't want to make this too long of a video, but I'm kind of going through, hopefully get through all teams, recording some videos here, and I need to put more content out, and this is a good opportunity to give me a lot of content to put out. So take a look at his price. 0.108 on the floor, 1.173 on the rare. Take a look at Freiburg so far this season. Had a 72 and an 84 in there, and then a mistake against Dortmund. But, he's putting up some nice scores, and I think he's the most likely goalie. So if you are a limited player, I don't see that price being too bad for a full Netherlands stack if you have some of the other pieces here, because it does get a little bit expensive. Next player at Inter, Stefan de Vrij. You take a look at his price, 0.023, so it's very cheap in terms of some of the other players that you'll see. And the rare isn't too bad. He's a 30-year-old player. You take a look at his scores. He does have a little bit of upside, 77, 75. So he does make that 70s. Last season, he had a little bit there. You take a look whenever he is in the Dutch side, 50... 42. So, a lot of yellow scores. So if you're trying to put an upside team together, it's probably not going to be the guy. But maybe if you're looking for a threshold team, wouldn't be the worst thing. But, at that price, you can get cheaper thresholds. Next up is the Lit. So he's at Bayern. His price is 0.192. And you got 1.63 on the rare. So if we take a look here, his kind of opening up with, he came off the bench, and then, of course, he scored a goal as they absolutely trounced Bochum 7-0, and then he put up an 81.5 there. So as far as his utility, he's going to be a stud in Bayern. 6-1, 2-0, 7-0. Why don't you just give him the league already? It looks like they're far and away going to keep going in that double digits. He had a couple stinkers here, but he's a stud. He's under 23, and he is under 23. Even though he turned 23 at the beginning of the season, he has a nice birthday that will keep him through 2024. So that's nice. Although he's a little bit expensive, but if I'm playing a limited team, he is 100% in there. I'm spending up over, and especially when you can't get Van Dijk in a limited team, definitely going with him. And Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool, 3 matches, no wins. Something has to give. They played Bournemouth this week. Should be a kind of get-right game. But you look at his last season, he's in those greens all the time. I shouldn't have to explain. Virgil van Dijk, one of the best center backs in the game, if not the best. But again, only has rares, but they did change the Liverpool pictures. Maybe Liverpool gets cards this year. I don't know. Could be an interesting aspect if you want to kind of take a look at the limited market if he gets some limited cards. Next up, Frankie de Jong. Barcelona, so 0.0913 is the current floor, a little over an ETH for his rare. So you see a lot of greens here. To start the year with Barca, they've had 2 matches. They drew with Rayo, and they beat Sociedad 4-1, 47.8, 40. Not great, but if you take a look here, he does kind of have that assist upside with the Dutch squad that he can kind of get in there. He's not going to probably score goals. He did score back-to-back matches here, but you're not kind of getting him for the goals. Hopefully you can put up a decent AA, as you can see here. In the last year, 17 AA per game. So, that's not going to kill you. And in a Dutch squad that has some nice matchups, especially whenever they play Qatar, I know they're the home team, but, I think they could have a huge game in that matchup. Next up, Team Coop Miners for Atalanta. His floor price, 0.055, so very doable there, and 0.42 on his rare. And you take a look here so far. So they drew with Milan, good result, and they beat Sampdoria 2-0, 52.6. Take a look here. A lot of subpar kind of scores. He is cheaper, but it's a risky play. But again, if you are full stacking a team, you're assuming it's a great matchup, which probably will be. They have a very good chance of winning all 3 matches, or if they draw with Senegal or whatever it may be, still pretty good matchups. So 24 years old, out of U23 eligibility. That's why the price tanked a little bit. So not the worst opportunity as far as price-wise. not bad. Daily Blind, 32 years old. I feel like he's been around for much longer than that, but look at his Ajax scores. His health 40, 64, wonderful. Floor price 0.135, solid. Take a look at his form so far this season. He's killing it. Coming off of 100 against Rotterdam and a 79. So he has some major scoring upside, and I just don't know if he's going to be the starter. I think he would if they kind of go with the experience. He's still only 32, which is kind of crazy because I just feel like he's been around forever. But, that's a guy that at that price, he could be your defender, but I'm going to go with a center back in my squad at the end whenever I have my concept squad. Next up, on the other side, Dumfries for Inter as well. Cheaper price, 0.037. His rare is going to run you 0.375. So the upside is definitely there. He has a lot of green scores here. He had 100 against Gibraltar. So you're not going to have that cheap of a matchup, but he can get it. He can get it done. As far as for Inter, he came off the bench and scored 60, and then he played as that right mid. So again, it's either going to be a right wing back or a right mid, probably a right mid as far as what he's going to play. His card is a defender card. So, some of these defender cards that are play at right mid, we'll see with the new Matrix. It'll help him out a lot with the possession loss, but, he could score. He has goal upside at that right mid spot playing forward. Some nice scores there, so he has to definitely be on your radar. All right, another Ajax player. So at 0.0865 and 0.7 for the rare, Steven Berghuis. Take a look at his scores. For Ajax, 67.1 came off the bench, 46.6. In the starting lineup, but not playing the full 90, and you kind of expect him to get subbed off as far as going the full 90 or not. Take a look at his scores. A lot of greens. Okay, for Ajax, of course. Was this the Gibraltar game? No. Is this a Gibraltar game? Gotta find that Gibraltar game. All right. So he's a guy that I really think is going to be in the starting lineup. Again, experience. You need some experience in your lineup at the World Cup. People that have been there before. And I think Netherlands are going to really want to put up a great showing this time around. So the last two guys are expensive. Memphis Depay, 0.146. A lot of uncertainty. He was on the bench in the first two matches. Did not come on, but, about terminating his contract. There's been a lot of rumors, and I expect him to make a move somewhere before the deadline date. If he doesn't, that would be not great for him because I think he can round into some serious form, and he's only 28, and he's in the prime of being a striker. I really think if you have a Dutch squad, you're going to need him in there because he has the chance to really put up like 100-point performance. You take a look at his last year, 61 average. He's not going to kill you. So it'd be interesting. Are they going to move him before that window, or are they not? But in my build of a concept squad, he is 100% in it. And the last player who just got a card is Steven Bergwijn for Ajax. So if you take a look at his price, it's because there's only 16 at the moment of his card. So let's go back to the price graph before. So it just came out August 21st, and you see here the first one here. That's super expensive for a limited, but he does have some upside. So if you're going to get him, I would definitely wait. I don't have him in my concept squad just due to price, but if that price comes down, which it very well should, that's a guy that I would probably put instead of Coop Miners in that squad. So he started out with 100 and a 75 for Ajax this year. Very good starts. You see back all these matches, that's whenever he was for Tottenham, and he wasn't really getting any game time, 3 minutes, 8 minutes. It doesn't really matter what those scores are. All that it does matter is, again, with his price, the reasoning probably behind what we got on his L15. Oh, it actually bumped up. It has bumped up over the 42. I was thinking he would be a specialist player. That would be an absolute rocket, and that specialist lineup gets you some rares, but he did kind of just go over that. I'm sure these last two performances were the reason behind that. So he's the last player in my starting 11. Again, this is way out. We don't know anything really. The Nation League games will give us a lot more insight into competitive matches because people are going to be fighting for squad spots, and it'll be very interesting. So if we go to my limited build, again, Coop Miners in the utility spot. I could switch that. I just kind of went with a cheaper player. I could switch that with Bergwijn whenever he gets his price a little bit better. But I think this is a nice squad, especially with Bergwijn in there. That would really put some upside there. But you got Depay, De Jong, De Ligt, and Flecken as your 5 squad there. So they haven't really had much time together. Depay and Coop Miners did not play here. So again, this is all speculative. Not financial advice to go out and buy World Cup players just for the World Cup, although I'm sure World Cup players' prices, I know, will go up whenever it gets closer to the time, especially with matchups, things like that. So if you can plan ahead, that would be definitely a positive in this game. So hopefully you guys like this video. I'll go through the rest of Group A next. Senegal will be up next, then Ecuador, and then Qatar will do. I don't know if I'll do a video because they don't have any Sorare players unless Sorare releases World Cup players, which you never know. Could happen, but we'll cross that bridge whenever it comes. Hopefully you guys like this. Please like, subscribe. Next giveaway will be at 250 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already, I really appreciate that you do so. All right, we'll see you guys later.